Welcome back to the Distance Project channel. It is Friday the 26th of June and this week is a very exciting week in UK athletics because it's the Olympic trials and I'm not racing. Charlie's not racing, surprisingly, and we thought why not do a little preview. And this is not to be taken personally by anyone, athletes out there if you're watching, but as a way to spark up some conversation about the sport, get people talking, build up anticipation for all of what we think are the most competitive distance events. We thought, let's put our opinions out there, and then in 2 weeks' time when the results are out, you can shoot me down and tell me I was wrong. You can pat me on the back, tell me I was right. We're going to add loads of timestamps to this video so you can skip and find your favourite event on the male or the female side, see what our picks are, see what our reasons are, and then yeah, if you're watching this after the event, see how wrong we potentially were. Worth saying, this is not who's going to win the trials, this is who we think is going to be lining up in Paris, and the way that you can qualify is twofold, and I'm going to reference my phone here to make sure that I don't get this wrong. So first things first, you must run the Olympic standard. For every event there's a time, you must run under that time. Pretty simple as that. Once you've done it, you've got the Olympic qualifying standard. For a couple of events, not ones that we're going to talk about in this video, there is a B standard or a UKA standard, which is slightly different. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to complicate things with that. If you go to the trials, which is the UK Championships, which is coming this weekend in a few days from when we're filming this, or tomorrow if you're watching this the day it comes out, if you finish in the top 2 in your event and you have that magic Olympic qualifying time, you're on. You can hold a big sign up that says I'm going to Paris. No one can argue, you're on the way to the Olympics, you're an Olympian. So hopefully most people, that's the way that they'll get in. In some cases, there is discretionary spots where certain athletes might be more likely to get a spot at the Olympics than others, even if they don't race at the trials. And I'll read you the exact quotes that I've taken here. So in the first round, it says, 2023 Budapest World Championship individual medalists will be selected in the corresponding event, meaning if you are, say, Josh Kerr and you are the world champion in the 1500 in Budapest, Budapest? Yeah, it was Budapest, right? Yeah, Budapest, you won a medal, then you're automatically going to be selected in your event if you choose to do that and you put yourself forward and no one else has a medal in that case. The second round, it says here, or officially I think it's called the third round, it says, if there are any places remaining, the selection panel may then select from eligible athletes with a World Athletics qualification standard who meet the aims of the policy. So that is essentially, if you have the time and you don't finish in the top 2, but the selection panel think that you might still achieve the aims of the policy, which is to come top 8 in the world, then they might still select you. So an example we could give for this is, again, we'll use we won't use Josh Kerr, we'll use Jake Whiteman as an example. If Jake Whiteman has the Olympic standard, but he doesn't finish in the top 2 at the trials, let's say he finishes, 3rd or 4th, the selection panel, by rights, could still choose to take him. Whether they do or not, I don't know. So that's just to give you a picture of how people can qualify. We're now going to skim through all the events, give our picks, discuss a couple of people that we disagree on, discuss a few people that we agree on, and yeah, see if we're correct. Before we jump into the picks really quickly, on screen now you can see the schedule for the event. If you're an American watching this, or anyone to be honest, you might assume, like at the American trials, you can double in most events, i.e. you might do the 1500 one week and the 800 the next. The British Championships and trials is only 2 days, it's a Saturday and a Sunday, which means it's pretty incompatible to race 2 events, so you have to pretty much choose to only do one. You can of course enter as many as you have the standard for, that's absolutely fine, but you'll see from this schedule it's pretty difficult, if not impossible, to double in say the 8:15 or the 15:5. Some people might try it, we don't actually know that. We don't have the complete list of exact confirmed entries, but yeah, just to caveat that to start with. If you're American and you're thinking, why don't they do all the events? That's why.
Yeah, so starting off with 800, we'll go men and women's, and then 15:5. So 800 women, I've obviously Keely,
yeah,
Gemma, and then I think someone at the trials, will win, will get the standard in 3rd place. I originally had Boffy, but she's just announced that she isn't going to be competing because of injury, so I'm going to change that to Phoebe Gill. I think she's too good.
Okay, I'm going Keely Hodgkinson, Gemma Reekie and Phoebe Gill. Boring answer, but yeah. I think that they're the best people this season. Maybe there'll be a dark horse pick, who knows, but yeah, that's my 3. Men's 800, who have you got?
I went Bergen, Patterson, Giles.
Okay, I've got Ben Patterson, Reece Charmanuel and Elliot Giles. Bergen, what do you think? Not raced this season, you just think he's going to pull it out of the bag like last year?
I think he doesn't show up unless he thinks he can win it. So, yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I think thinking you can win it and winning it is different. I think as much as I'd love him to turn up and do his normal style, I sometimes think, can that work every single time? I don't know. And actually, you know, Richard Manuel, I think, has actually got a really good chance in a domestic race. He proves that he wins pretty much most BMCs that he races. I think he's great at that style of racing. Patterson, consistent, proven. Giles, consistent, proven. And if he's chosen to do the 8 over the 15, that's quite a big decision for him, considering how well he's run at some of the 1500s. So yeah, that's my reasoning. 1500 women.
Georgia Bell, Laura Muir, and then Reve Walcott-Nolan for me.
Okay, I've gone Laura Muir, so we agree. Georgia Bell, so we agree. But I've gone Katie Snowdon. I did really like the Reve pick, honestly, and I think that she obviously is a fantastic athlete and has come into form. And I think her, Georgia Bell, and Katie Snowdon have all pretty much run the exact same time this season. I think they've all run about 4 flat. I'm just going with pure gut on it, and I just think that Snowdon might pull it out. Maybe that extra element of experience, I don't know. But 3 years ago at the last Olympic trials, Reve obviously made the team, and it changed things for her. So yeah, we pretty much agree on that.
Yeah.
Men's 1500, contentious one.
Contentious, but I've gone really boring with Josh Kerr, Jake Whiteman, and Neil Gawley.
Okay, I've gone Josh Kerr. I think, well, obviously he's definitely in. I've gone also Jake Whiteman, who I think at this style racing is good. And then I did want to go for Gawley, but I don't know. I think there's always something different that happens in a 1500. And actually, I do think that the top 3 in this race, or the top 2, might not even be people with the standard. I think there's a lot of people like someone like Joe Wigfield, who's been consistently running 336, 337, also run 146 for 800, like suits that style of racing. Maybe someone also like a Piers Copeland or something like that. But what I have gone for as my third pick is Adam Fogg. And again, that's probably like an emotional, like sentimental pick, but he's run the times, he's had the championship experience from going to European champs and doing world indoors, and he does have, you know, a fair amount of speed for the home straight. But I think it's going to throw up some surprise results. But that's who I reckon is lining up in Paris.
But his standards from his indoor mile, right?
Yeah, which is still counts.
Still counts.
Yeah, Whiteman, Kerr, Fogg, I'm going for. And he did just run a season's best in his last race, 334.
Fogg dog in Paris.
Cool. 5K women.
Only Megan Keith has the standards, and I think we're out of time before anyone else can reasonably get it. So mine's empty. I don't think Megan Keith, she's not entered. I don't think she does it.
I've got no idea about this event. I assume Megan Keith might go and do the 5K, 10K. I don't know. I don't know if someone like, I don't know if they can run it at the champs potentially, if there's a group of them together. I don't know. I know that Hannah Nuttall's very close to the standard. I don't really know how they pick, how it works, whatever. And if certain athletes want to double, again, I don't even know like what the Ailish McColgan situation is with 10Ks, 5Ks, gestured, whatever. I don't know. I'm going to say Megan Keith in the hopes that she just thinks, I get a chance to double at the Olympics, I may as well do it. But yeah, I've got no idea. Finally, men's 5K. What are you saying?
I went George Mills, Sam Atkin, and then Patrick Diva.
Okay, this is the hardest one for me. It's really hard. If you don't know the situation, George Mills has got the time in the 1500 and the 5K, but as you saw from the schedule that I posted on the screen, or maybe it pops up again in a little mini one, they're only 2 hours apart, the finals. So obviously he couldn't do both. So we've just checked now, and he's he's chosen not to enter the 5Ks, only in the 15. Now to me, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or whatever, to me that suggests that he might believe that through one way or another he's going to get the discretionary spot on the 5K team. And I don't know what has to happen for that to go ahead or not, i.e. like if Atkin, Diva and Rowe, who all have the time, finish top 3 at the trials, one would think they must be the people that are picked, but I don't know, maybe if one of them finishes 4th or 5th, or one of them doesn't show up, does that automatically slot Mills in? I really have no idea, but that's why it's kind of exciting. So I have gone with the conspiracy theory side of things, and I've gone for the same as you. I've gone for Diva, Atkin and Mills. Sam Atkin I've not seen race in Britain since I think he did Highgate quite a few years ago. Bit of an elusive character, but you can't argue with his times when he runs. Diva I think is like full package, got speed, got strength, good over 10k, good over 1500 mile. Jack Rowe would almost say the same. I just have a feeling that like the way the race is going to go, I don't think any of those guys are going to win. I actually think James West might win the race, and if he does and doesn't have the standard, that means one of those guys is not going to be in the top 3 that has the time, which might open that door for Mills. I don't know, but that's my 5k picks.
Yeah, I think with the 15 and the 5, the podium on the British Champs isn't going to be what's on the team. I think someone else is going to win, or podium in the 15 definitely, but I think someone else could win the 5k. Someone like Westy. Yeah, no, it's super exciting, and the good news for the event is I'm not too sure about the Saturday for the heats, but Sunday tickets are all fully sold out, so that'll be really interesting to see how
how full the stadium feels. We're going and we have some media accreditation. We don't know where we stand or what we necessarily do with that, but we'll be capturing some content about one British athlete. I don't know if we can say when this video comes out. It's not going to be something that goes on our channel. We're actually creating it for a brand and wherever else they choose to put the bit of content, but we're hoping to also find some time across the weekend to make something here as well. And by the time this video comes out, if you're watching it on the Friday, we won't have actually started yet. So if you've got any ideas of athletes you'd want to see covered, certain bits about the event, do drop a comment below. And also you can comment in the competition that we're doing. It's not a crazy prize, but just as a way to get you involved. We've got some coffee from OTE and Darkwoods and from Pace Coffee as well, and it's a little bit of a prediction contest. So all you have to do is comment below the time that you think the winner of the men's 5,000 meters will do. So for example, 14:10 or 13:52, whatever you think, you just drop that in the comments. You don't need to tell me who's going to win, literally just the time. And we'll add up all the people that are exactly correct, do a random name generator, and I'll contact one of you via the comment. I'll reply to it and say that you've won a prize, and we'll get in touch with you. So yeah, this has been our very quick and precise British Champs review. We might have terrible picks, we might have some good picks. We're going to find out in about a week's time once that Paris team gets announced. But yeah, you can watch the Champs on Red Button. Get behind all the athletes on social media, make sure you engage with them. As an athlete, the time that we see the most engagement on social media is the time of races, especially big moments like the Olympic trials or the UK Championships. So if you're a bit intrigued about what an athlete's been up to or what their journey might be to get to that point, and you see them on TV, give them a follow on social media, have a look, buy into their journey, because it really does help athletes out when they're trying to gain more kind of commercial sponsorships and more coverage and stuff like that. Charlie, any final comments about British Champs?
No, it should be good. Looking forward to it. Going to be a long weekend, but yeah, thanks for watching, and maybe see you in Manchester.
Yeah, and we'll have another video next week, hopefully. We're not 100% sure exactly what it is, but stay tuned for the channel every Wednesday at 6 PM. Cheers.